Hey guys, it's Malonb, your Malon from Facebook and MalonShop.com, and this is my tutorial for this really cute ornaments. I'm calling them princess ornaments just because of what they were inspired by, but for this tutorial you will need your F crochet hook, your darning needle, some scissors, and obviously the yarn of your color choice. I used Red Heart Super Saver, and also whatever you want to use for the headband. And here I used some ribbon, and here I used some scrap yarn. So there you go. Enjoy guys. Bye. So for this I'm using size F hook, and if you can see that, it is an F hook. I will also be using Red Heart Super Saver yarns. This peach color is buff, and the brown color is just a standard brown. Obviously you can use any colors you like. So let's begin with the face. For the face, we're going to start with 6 single crochets inside a magic circle. And 6. I'm going to go ahead and tighten up a little bit. The next row will be increasing all single crochets, so you will have 12 in total since you increase all the 6 that are there. 10, 11, and 12. That was the second row, 12 stitches. Now I will be using a scrap piece of yarn to mark the beginning of my rows. Just if you want to use a stitch marker, go ahead. I just used yarn. I find it easier. The third row is 1 single crochet and 1 increase, and just repeat that all the way around. 1 single crochet and 1 increase, and just repeat that. 1 single crochet, 1 increase, and the increase is just 2 single crochets in 1.
Let me put some more of my yarn here.
One single crochet and 1 increase. That gives us a total of 18 stitches for the third row. The fourth row we do 2 single crochets and 1 increase. So let's see, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and increase. So again, you just do that all the way around. 2 single crochets and 1 increase. Okay, that row gave us a total of 24. For the next row, we're going to do 3 single crochets and 1 increase. Okay, that was the last one for that row. That actually gave us a total of 30 stitches. Now for the next row, for the next 2 rows, actually we're just gonna do single crochet in each one. So 2 rows of single crochet. That was 1 row, so the second row of single crochet. Okay, we finished the 2 rows of single crochet. The next one is 3 single crochet and 1 decrease. Okay, we finished that, and that is actually complete. For the next step, we just want to do a slip stitch and finish it off. And for the face, you don't need to leave a tail because you'll be leaving a tail on the hair part to sew it together. And you don't need to worry about weaving in the tail either because that will be hidden in the inside of the ball. Now if you turn it inside out or the right way out, it should look something like this, like a tiny bowl looking thing. And if you have your ball here, you can see that it fits snugly. You can go ahead and pull it all the way up. If it stretches slightly, that's fine. It will go back to shape. And that is the face part of the ball. Pretty simple, and don't worry about this looking uneven. The hair will be covering that. So now let's start with the hair. Now the hair is basically the same pattern up to a point. It's just the few final rows that are a little different. So as with the face, we begin with 6 single crochets in a magic loop. I just like to pull it a little bit, and then you go. The second row is increase all 6 single crochets, so you will be ending up with 12. Now again, I'll be using the scrap yarn to mark my place. The next step is, or the next row is 1 single crochet and 1 increase. Again, the same as with the face. The next row is 2 single crochets and 1 increase. Okay, the next one is 3 single crochets and 1 increase. Alright, the next one is single crochet row. So this next row is all simply single crochet all the way around. We should have 30 in all. Okay, we finished with our single crochet row. Now this is where the pattern for the hair gets a little different. The next row you will be doing, let's see, this one is actually not a repeat row, so I'm just going to tell you step by step. You start with 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. You do 2 half double crochets. 1, 2, 4 double crochets. 1 double crochet. 2 double crochet. Oops. 3, 4 double crochet. You go back to doing 2 half doubles. 1, 2 half doubles, and 2 single crochets. 1, 2. Now you start again with 2 half double crochets. 1, 2. Next we do 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we end with 2 half double crochets. 1, 2, and we finish off the row with single crochets. And that is complete. I mean, that's all you can finish off. So usually I just do a slip stitch. And for this one, you do want to leave a long tail because you will be using this one to sew it onto the head. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have pulled this tight at the beginning so you don't have a pointy top. You turn it the right way, right side out. And I usually match up like the tails in the back, so I just keep that as the back of the piece. So about the same spot, I usually, again, keep those together. That will make this the front of the face. You can kind of see that the last row created a little bit of a, I don't know what you call that. It's supposed to look sort of like bangs. And this would be the back. You would use a needle. Actually, let me get the needle now. I'll show you how I sew it together. But yeah, you just kind of position it exactly where you want it. You can pull on it. It's not going to do anything to it. It's going to stretch back. So you should be all good. I'll be showing you guys how I make the ribbon part of the ornament. And here I have this scrap yarn in purple. I thought that would be a good color combo with this hair and everything. So I have 2 strands on here just because I think they will look better as a bow as opposed to just 1 strand of yarn. But you can use whatever you want. For the red one, I'll be using this ribbon. So whatever you want to use is up to you. Now what you want to do with the hair is, you can see this is the last row we worked. This is where we did the half double crochets. So the middle will be the middle of the 2 half double crochet parts we did, which would be about here. So what you want to do is, again, get your yarn or whatever you're using into a needle. You want to leave 1 long tail and 1 short tail. You want to start from the middle. If you're going to the left or towards the left, I like to start from the right, if that makes sense. So I will be inserting into the right of the middle part, and I will start like so. Now here you want to leave a tail, and I would suggest maybe holding on to it to make sure the yarn doesn't go all the way through, just because once you go all the way around and come back here, that is actually what you're going to be using to tie the bow. So you do want that to stay there. I'm just going to hold on to it with my other finger there. So we went into the first one, and I don't know, every 4 or 5 stitches, I'm going to go into the stitch, just 1, and pull through. every so often. And once you get into or to the back here, since we made this in the round, it is going to be a little off. Again, because we made it in the round, so it's not going to be having straight lines. So far we have been following the last row that we did. This is the last row we have done on the hair, and we're just following through the space between the rows. So once again, the back is going to be a little off. Instead of just following that line still, I would just go one up and go back into the last row, or between the last row and the second to last that we worked on. So we'll just go here and go out the other side of one. Oops. And again, you can make it as nice as you want. This is just an example for you guys. And you do the same thing. You would just follow through between the last row and the one before last, that line in the middle. And every once in a while, just go between one of the stitches. Our hair is already sewn on, so you don't actually have to make sure it goes through to the stitches on the head because it's already sewed on, but just enough to actually hold the ribbon or your ribbon yarn in place. So just keep going all the way around. And this would be the last one for me. And I want to come out the other side. Since we went on the right side of the middle, if you guys remember, I want to come out on the left side of that stitch. And then just take off the needle. And this is what it looks like so far. We have the ends here, and this is what the ribbon will look like around the head. So now what you want to do is actually tie the ribbons down. And if you need more space in the beginning, you didn't leave enough tail there, you could always just move it. I mean, it's not hard. You could just adjust it as you need to. And there you go. Okay, so I finished tying on the bow, and I'm gonna cut the ends to make it cute, about the same length. And that is it, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to show you guys how I make my loop at the top, so you can use this as an actual ornament or hang it somewhere, etc. Now I usually use the same color of yarn the hair is, but just for this purpose so you can see what I do better, I'm going to be using a different color. I'm going to be working with this one again, and I'm going to be using black for the line. So the first thing you want to do is kind of see how far or how long you want the line, and you want to double up your yarn. Again, I'm just using scrap yarn, and I think I want it about this long, the loop at the top. So you kind of just want to eyeball it, how tall or how big you want the loop, and cut off your yarn there. Now you want to, of course, double your yarn, and you want to make a knot, just a regular knot. Make sure it's real tight. And then you want to decide where or how you want the ornament to hang. Obviously, this is going to be the face of a lady, I'm assuming. So do I want it to hang like this, upright? Do I want it to kind of look down? Do I want it to be like this? I think I want it to be upright like this. So that means that my hoop should be somewhere around here so it could hang straight. So like this one. So I showed you guys. I did this one about one stitch underneath where we did the bow. So I think that's the same thing I'm going to do with this one. What I want to do is get my crochet hook and go one stitch under where we did the bow. If you guys can see, that's where we did the bow. One stitch under would be this. And I want to just put my hoop, my crochet hook, one underneath that. So just putting it through the stitch underneath. And the next thing I want to do is pull my hoop through the stitch, not completely, but about halfway. As you can see, it is halfway. Now what I want to do, this will be like my top of the loop, and this is the bottom where I have the knot. I want to open up the bottom half where I have the knot and slip it over my top, and then just pull the top of the loop, if you guys can see. That automatically makes the bottom half, the knot, tighten up into the bottom. And the last thing I want to do, you can pull it tight. The last thing I want to do is take my crochet hook, go through the hair part, anywhere in the hair, and come out wherever the knot is closest to. That way it'll be easy for you to grab the knots and the ends and pull it under the hair so nobody can see. Once you pull it in, you can again just make sure it's tight. You can pull the loop while holding the hair tight like this. And there you go. And again, if you use the same color as your hair, you shouldn't even be able to notice it. So that is all, and this is the end product. And again, if you use the same color as the hair, it looks a lot better. Thanks for watching, guys.